good evening. It's Robert A. Wilson with Cowboy Wisdom. Tonight, I want to talk about how arrogance has controlled the world since beginning of time. And I caught this in myself. And what it is arrogance has to control. You know, it's like the powers, our leaders of the world, they really control it in us. But the world, the politics and the world is run on arrogance. And the world is too arrogant right now to move forward. And that is where we're stuck. And I really looked at the world, and then I had to look inside me to see where that was within me. And it is true, but the arrogance is controlling the world. And if you look through society in the beginning of time, we act like the leaders are trying to help us, but really there is just controlling powers of the world. They try to limit us in the way we can live and the way we maneuver through life. But that is really a fallacy, because the power of the world is within us. And nobody controls us unless we give them power. But here's the thing. We've been taught to give our power away to the arrogant people of the world. And if you look at the society today and watch the way the media works, they belittle people that have a different idea than what's in the books and what the college education system says. But something I really looked at, and I did a lot of introspection this week, and that's on the college professors. They kind of have an aura, an arrogance about them, that they think they're better than the people. And that's the trouble. We're all equal. And it's the wisdom of the people that the world is begging for. The people on this radio, on this Facebook Live, have wisdom to expand the world. And we are caught up in the arrogance and the ignorance of that we must have control over something. And the people of the world, and I'm included in this, I'm talking from my point of view in the world, people are so used to being told what to do, they're afraid to think on their own or feel the energy of their own enterprising wisdom to move their world forward. People either are being told what to do or telling people what to do because it gives us power. Egotistical power, and that's what's controlled the world for so long, is the egotistical arrogance that we all encompass, because we've been taught to be tough. But yet, some people are physically tough, but the ones that are really tough feel they feel the power within themselves to trust their abilities to move themselves forward. And I wrote a keynote this week, and it was on how the powers to be try to control us through the power that we give them. And how do you give your power away to people that you think are supposed to be leading you, and you pay them to do things for you? Then it doesn't occur. And that's kind of what is going on here, and it's been going on since the beginning of time, and that's where I really am expanding of. But it's an arrogance that we all encompass, that we have to be right and it has to be my way. How does that block everybody's way from moving forward? And how is it we say that it's weak? Well, he changed his mind or changed his opinion, and now he's a flip-flopper. But how is that rigid mindset keeping the world stuck in hypocrisy and turdocracy, because we're afraid to move beyond what we know and what we've been taught in every book? And wisdom is beyond the books, and that is where we're all really open to. But I understand the arrogance now, because I encompassed it big time. But I really understand how I allowed my arrogance to control my life. And that's where a lot of my anger comes from, is through the control of others. So as I move forward through this and I expand to understand, I have to allow myself to teach myself peace and prosperity, because we've been taught greed and want and need I need this, I want this, the greed of it. Money is an energy of wisdom. And that is something I'm really opening up to and expanding through. But the arrogance of myself, how did I shut down my listening prowess to be right? And I had to be right. And I've had to admit this many times. When I had to be right and it had to be done my way, it went awry every time, just about. When I could communicate the ideas and the wisdom, I could move my life forward. And the something else is I unbinded my mind. I took the word mind out of my life and I used the words inspirational inquisitor, because I got to be inquisitive to move my life forward rather than be stuck in my know-it-all crawl, because the more I know, the less I go. The more I understand, the more I expand, and to expand is grand. And that galvanizes revolutionary acumen, naturally daring me to see a better way to experience my life. And that is where I really, really am opening up. But you look at the world and the arrogance that it's in, and how was the arrogance of the powers to be, and nobody's willing to communicate beyond what they know, keeping us, the people, blocked inside their fences and inside their boundaries. Because to expand beyond where we're at, you're going to have to unleash and open the gates of the innate talents within ourselves. So as I move my life and move beyond this, and something else that I've really expanded into, everybody's trying to heal the past and forgive the past. Something I've expanded into: don't look back, don't look forward. Facilitate your day-to-day events, and pretty soon you're going to expand out of the past and out of the memories, and you're going to have a natural focus on moving forward, but it's going to be entertained and expanded in your day-to-day life, because all we have is the day-to-day life. So when you can unhook the arrogance, because the arrogance is tied to the past and wanting to be right and looking to the future, and that is where we become conceited and thinking that I have to have it now. But everything is an expansion, and you're going to have to let go of and detach from what you know to experience it. Because when you set an intention, goal, or an accomplished outcome, everything you do today is going to be new tomorrow. So it's facilitate and participate in the daily life rather than trying to heal the past, clear the past, because it gets too complicated and keeps our mind overthinking. So when you can unhook from the overthinking, stop thinking you did something wrong in the past, and allow your day-to-day life and eavesdrop on the wisdom of the day, you will expand out of the past and invigorate the accomplished outcome. Because an accomplished outcome is an experience and a step-by-step, well, not a step-by-step, I don't like steps. It's a path of percipience, opening up it's unblocking what you know, because we're trying to use the arrogance of history to live today. Because we have never taught history to learn anything. We just taught history to learn how to be controlled or live like the other people, because the bankers of the world that control us, they read history as control. We read it as something we're learning. And so they're actually embedding into us what they want the powers to be are. And the real powers to be is you and me, is me. I write all my stuff in first person and in rhyme and very little punctuation, because I want the readers to open up to feel what expands them. And that is a key word to life right there, expand. You can allow yourself to expand. You unhook the history of yourself. How does the history within you mirror the history of society? And that is something that we're really hearing. I taught myself arrogance, and I did, and I was good at it, and I taught myself conceit. I thought I wasn't. I thought I was just all around good old boy. I was an arrogant little so-and-so. So when I started expanding out of the arrogance, I can see arrogance in others now, because arrogance is a know-it-all crawl. It keeps you the same. So it's really a deep introspection to let go of the thorns of arrogance and conceit and the egotistical, that I am I'm actually the czar of bizarre rather than the king and queen of the royalties of life. And royalties is a rich optimism, yesing, and appreciating life today. And that is the thing, when you start opening up and you feel that you appreciate the day rather than, oh God, it's Monday. Well, Monday is as good a day as any, because it is the opening. But we look at Monday as, oh God, I got all week. Well, yeah, we do have all week, but we got all day to expand and play in the playground of percipience and prosperity and peace. Peace is, to have peace, bliss, and all the good of life, it's a feeling. Poverty consciousness and all the negativity of life is a thinking process. So when you can open up to feel the inspiration of life, you can unleash that inquisitor within you and soar through life and be of life rather than in life. When you're in life, you're in the flux and all the muck. When you're of life, you're above it, looking at it, maneuvering and manipulating through it. It's called unalienable agility. And when it's unalienable, it's forever. Basically, it's free acuity moving your life forward, because it's inside you and it can never be controlled or taken away from you. It's just a sovereign, sassy sapience within yourself to move your life forward. And agility allows you to have the dexterity to maneuver through it. It's an imaginative dexterity that allows you to dream every day. And a new word is called Zazz. It's X-A-Z-Z. It's extra awesome, zealous zeal, showing the world my sassy sex appeal. And that's a word I just made up. I love words. Words are my way to expanding myself. And that is something that we've always been taught. Stay inside the words that everybody knows. Well, if you stay inside everything, where do you ever expand out of everything? Get an action vocabulary, unhook the arrogance, and dance on your dreamer's dare, showing the world your debonair flair, feeling lively, astute, invigorating, revolutionary pizzazz, because it's your pizzazz that the world is looking for. It's your percipient pizzazz to dance with life. And that's something we've always been taught to stay inside the little confines of what we know. Well, the pizzazz is out there where the failure lives, and the uncertainty and the unexplainable and the unfathomable and all the uns of life. You want to un your life. That's unleash new every day. And something else I expanded into, I'm going to share. When a challenge arises, the question is, this is what I understand up to this point. The next question is, what is something I'd never do in this situation? And the path is something between what you understand and something you'd never do. But how's a never do a new a do to ascend, daring optimism to see inside myself, to walk forward in life and unhook that arrogant parakeet that says, oh no, don't go over there. That's scary. Well, it's scary to stay the same. And that's what the world is. And I'm guilty. We stayed the same inside the societal fences of their control, because we fall into the pens of depending on this government. The entitlements of the world has people looking to other people rather than looking for the inspiration of life. And it's right there. It's right at the end of your wrist is your own inspirational, inquisitive abilities are within your hands and your wisdom. And it's the body that leads us and not the thinking. The head is basically a skull. The brain power and the brain prowess and the gut gall and all the heart and soul within you are your modus operandi to operate above your thinking mind and really open up the new trails of triumph within yourself. When you triumph in here, you show the world your courage and confidence and how savvy, successful you are showing them to expand their life. So as I expanded through this and I wrote this, and it'll be a chapter in a book, it's called Opening My Pioneering Eyes. And that is something we've really let go of, as a pioneering spirit, because we may have put a man on the moon and we may be doing all this, but it's a pioneering prowess to expand every day, because we become hooked in the mundane and staying in the safe zone. And look at where the safe zone's got us. We live in Groundhog's Day. But when you got the daring attitude to, yes, I'm a blessing, to boldly live every day, seeing success, invigorate new grandeur within yourself, you become wealth. Wealth is not always money. Wealth is wisdom and enterprising abilities, loving today, having fun, feeling the bliss of yourself. It's a blameless bliss, shameless splendor that is going to allow us to move forward. Because the definition of blame is being lousy at managing everything. And the definition of shame is selfish, helpless, of apathy, just apathetic malice, eroding life. That's what it is, because it's something we taught ourselves from societal teachings in the school. You should be ashamed of yourself. Well, probably should be, but I never will be, because I did what I did and it was right at that time. It wasn't right, it's just what I did. And feeling sorry for it or feeling shame for it, the one that becomes locked and blocked is me. It's admitting I did it, conceding all the ick to it and let it flow out of me, and then open up a new avenue of awesome within myself. But it's arrogance of myself, because arrogance is in competition with other arrogance in the world. And when you can let go of the arrogance and detach from the arrogance and feel your inquisitive innovator move your life forward and become inspirational rather than thinking, you're going to unhook the arrogance, because arrogance takes thinking. Inspiration is feeling, and that's feeling the real, a robust energy to move yourself beyond where you're at today. And that is what the life is looking for. It's unhooking the ancient arrogance, ancestral anger, and the ageless arrogance that we all encompass. Because when you watch a movie, or you've been taught, well, you got to be this, and really all you got to be is your dynamic self. Not I'm enough, I am dynamic. It's daring, youthful, naturally, audaciously, majestically, invigorating candor every day. And that's what life is all about. I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. I will be back Thursday night, and I'm going to do a meditation on it's called Blameless Bliss, and it's going to be kind of rhyming, and it's going to be done in first person. It's the first one I ever did, so it's going to be entertaining. And I am a hypnotherapist, NLP practitioner, timeline coach, published author. My books are available at amazon.com/author/Robert A. Wilson, and howdiditeachmyselffear.com, and at mycowboywisdom.com. My books are written to expand you and open you up to the talents within you to show the world your dynamic self. Anyway, thank you and good night.